What's up, everybody? D Amazing here, bringing another review. This time is at the Mezco 112 Collective, Batman v Superman, Superman. God, I hate that movie. And I really hate that movie. But yeah, let's get started. First and foremost, I want to start by saying this is the Cavill Superman. Looks really good option-wise. I mean, compared to the Mayfix stuff that you got, this looks really good. But before I even get into articulation, I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison with the Mayfix one. So let's do that. If I can get the Mayfix one to stand, we'll be just fine. So as you can see, they're pretty much at the same height. Actually, the Mezco one might be a tad bit smaller. A tad bit more taller. But overall, it streamlines a lot better. The Mayfix one looks nice. A little too thin in my opinion. And Henry Cavill looks very, very tan. Which, I don't know if it's good or bad. But now, as far as head sculpt goes, I think both nailed it in their own way. But the one that actually looks closer this time is actually going to be Mayfix, even with the tanness. The problem is with this one is that it just looks too soft, even in person. So let's put that garbage down. So even in person, the Mezco one looks a little soft. And I think that's the number one issue that I have. But straight out of the box and looking at it from side to side or an angle, it actually looks really good. So they did nail it, but it just could have been better. Compared to what we were shown before, this absolutely could have been done better. Did they get it though? Yeah, they did. Now, in terms of articulation, we have a bit of a bigger figure. He's more buff, he's more stern. He gives you the look and feel of a Superman. The problem is just that movie was so bad, just so bad. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Don't worry about it. But yeah, articulation-wise, it's actually pretty cool because his arms can go up. There's bicep swivel. And it doesn't seem like any of it actually hinders the suit. Not even when I put the arms up. You can see that the material is actually stretching and folding. So even for flight poses, as you can see here, it looks really good. It can actually go up, rotate back. Now, I think the number one issue that I'm probably going to have is that this Superman can't have a forward ab crunch. It doesn't crunch forward. As far as you're going to get, probably where you see the chest bending right there. That's about it. Is he double jointed? Yes. The legs can come up actually quite a bit far, like further than I was expecting. So that's actually really good. They're double jointed, but because of the muscular body, it just doesn't seem that way. The ankle pivot is actually really good on this one. It rotates all the way in, and it can rotate out, rotate down a little, and a little up. So you actually get a really good rotation on this one. So you can do flight poses and things like that. And it'll look mostly natural. You could even do a split. Very important, because when you're Superman, sometimes you got to bust out the splits. You don't have to worry about stretching the costume. It's actually made to work out for that way. One of the big downers from this actual one is that there is no wired cape. Now, they actually give you an option for something like they did with Batman. And I'm not going to review these because I think that these are terrible. It's just not a very good thing, in my opinion. And the reason why that is because for all of this that you added for a cape accessory, you could have just added the wire in. Maybe they couldn't do it. Maybe they could have. It's not for me to know. But wire capes are definitely something that we should have by now for most figures and lines. Not just Mezco, just a bunch of other ones in general. But overall, him just standing here and looking good, really good. I like how it looks. I mean, I don't like the suit design, but he does look really Supermanly, if that's even a verb or a word. It looks good. As you see, he's just standing here. He looks good. Now, the other two heads, though, the, I guess, scowling or struggle face, again, looks soft. And I think this is probably the weakest part of the figure, that the head sculpt just came out soft. Compared to what we were shown in previous photos, it just could have been better. Now, even though this head doesn't look as good because of the beams in the eyes, it's still a ways better than the Mayfix one in comparison, simply because they got the eye color wrong in the first place. Even though it's yellow hair, you still have the red around the eyes that gives you the focus of him using the laser vision. So that's a big plus. One of the accessories that Superman comes with is a Gotham City, I forgot the name of the word of it. I don't know why it escapes me now. It just slipped my mind. This is a sewer lid. So it comes and it breaks in pieces. And what's really cool about it is Superman can actually hold it in his hand. It's not magnetized. It just actually fits in perfectly with its own stuff. And actually, I don't know why I'm getting it wrong now. I am all over. But for some reason, oh, there we go. I was having trouble fitting that in. What's wrong with me? So real quick, I'm going to show you on one of the hands, which is actually a hand for holding things, because they give you that. Why? I have no idea. But as you can see, you can hold it just fine. So we're going to test it on the Superman and see how well it holds. Oop, got to be careful. Don't want to pop the pegs. Now, the question is, can he hold it in hand without it falling? Yeah, yes he can. So he can just catch stuff. It's actually pretty cool. I think that's actually cool. I wish he would have came with other accessories, but he's Superman, so he doesn't really need much. Maybe a laser vision one would have been cool, but we didn't get that. So, of course, we get Pimp Slap Hands, which I'm actually going to call Flight Hands, but Pimp Slap Hands actually sounds cooler. Then also you get open palms for holding things. And in the promo photos, we saw him holding a giant piece of 2-ton falling debris, as we call it. So you get the hands for this. You get it for holding things, holding people, or just walking around and being more of a, I guess, imposing hands. And as you can see, you have 2 of the holding hands for holding items such as the lid. So if you want to look like you're ripping it in half or throwing it, breaking it into pieces, you can do that. Now, I was hoping I would have gotten my Batman back in time from being wire cape modded, but it didn't arrive because the postman is a terrible person. So instead, I'm going to compare the two to the Mezco armored Batman. So as you can see, in comparison, they actually look really good together. And the reason why Batman is actually bigger here is simply because he's in armor. So it gives him a little extra added height. So in my opinion, I think that the Batman will be smaller. I'll have to double check back and post it on my Instagram later. But overall, they actually look really good together. Not a very good movie, but very good character design and costume designs. I will say this. Although it's a step in the wrong direction for Superman, though. Should have kept him classic. But that's just me whining about it. Now, in terms of comparison of height and what's going on with it, let's look at it compared to other stuff. So Superman's actually pretty big. He has some height on a few other characters. So he has about a 1/4 of an inch on a few characters. It's just a little bit over them, as you can see. But yeah, I think I've covered just about everything. Oh, actually, forgot about Cougar. So yeah, he's much bigger than Cougar, even him being in the forefront. I think I've covered just about most things. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, direct them towards my Instagram, where I usually answer stuff, strictly because it's much easier for me to answer. In the meantime, guys, hope you're keeping your hearts full. Hope you're drinking plenty of water. And I hope most of all you're staying out of trouble. Be good, guys. Later.